Most landlords are losing thousands of dollars every year, not because they have bad tenants, but because their tenants don't know how to properly operate their property. And that means constant calls, texts, and questions about stuff that should have been handled from day one, wasting your time, energy, and money. I get it. When I first started, I was renting to high-level professionals who could afford expensive apartments, but didn't know what to do when things like a simple breaker tripped. So as I rented more and more properties, the texts and calls for simple maintenance issues piled up, and it got to me. And since I was worn down when new prospects asked for a rent reduction, I was giving in and trying to negotiate a lower rent for them so that I could rent more units, but I didn't see the bigger picture. Then I learned for every $100 in rent, the property's value increases by $10,000, and that made me rethink everything. I started optimizing how we designed, marketed, and managed properties. I learned how to increase rent while making tenants happier, and that's when I saw my business explode. Now I teach small landlords the same strategies that mega landlords and big operators use to maximize profits by at least 25% so they can build wealth faster through real estate. One of the easiest ways to stop wasting time and money is to have a foolproof tenant onboarding system. I put together a simple landlord move-in checklist, a plug-and-play system that walks your tenants through how to operate everything in the property before they even move in. In this short video, I'll show you exactly how to use the checklist to streamline move-ins, eliminate 99% of tenant questions, and create a smooth, stress-free experience so you never have to deal with the same annoying questions again. Let's get into it. Secret number one, perform the move-in orientation a couple days before the actual move-in day. Did you know that moving is the second most stressful thing in life? It's right behind the death of a loved one. And as a landlord, this often gets forgotten about how stressful moving can be. People are packing up all their things, which always takes longer than expected. They have to coordinate movers or friends to help them with all their belongings. They have to change their address with the postal service, Amazon, and banks and bills. So with all the stress of the actual move-in day, does it really make sense to show them the ins and outs of the property while they're in the middle of moving boxes and furniture into the property? Not at all. So that is why you must have the tenant come in for an orientation a couple days before the actual move-in. Taking an hour of your time now will cut down on so many hours in the future calls, texts, and emails, coaching your tenant on property basics. So you might be asking, okay, well, what do I tell them in this move-in orientation? And if you want to streamline your move-ins and save thousands of dollars annually, I've put this free move-in mastery checklist to help you exactly with that. You can grab it in the description. Secret number two, a move-in orientation should be organized into two main parts of the property. The first part is where you sit down with your new tenant at a desk or table, a kitchen counter, wherever you can. And this is the part where you verify their ID in the case that you were not the one leasing to them originally. Make sure they are who they said they were on the application. And then you're going to give them a copy of the move-in checklist and go over each item on the checklist, such as how entry notices work, preventing neighborly nuisances, what internet providers are available, when and how tenants should reach out to management, as well as what is considered an emergency or not, and signing out a copy of all the keys. Secret number three. Now, before we get into the second half of the orientation, there is something you must remember about your tenants. Pretend they have a knowledge of a teenager when it comes to knowing how things work in the property. Actually, scratch that. Pretend they are 10 years old. And when you keep that in the back of your mind as you're going through this orientation, it will give you so much more peace of mind as you meticulously go over the next part in the orientation. Do you remember those old books that kids loved to read because they had really good pictures and good descriptions, like the ones from the 90s, those medieval ones? That's kind of what this orientation is like for your tenant. The handbook is going to be full of pictures and of the property, and you're going to show them how everything works in the property. Secret number four, show and tell time. By this point, your tenant might be really appreciative of all the effort you put into this orientation, or they could just be over it. But guess what? No matter how they feel, they will know how everything from the drains to the doorknob operates in the property. So now that they have the keys, make sure they work by inserting them into all the locks. After that, go out to the trash bins and show them what goes in recycling versus trash versus compost. Also have them put a recurring calendar event on their phone to remind them that the day before trash goes out to the curb. If the unit is in an apartment complex, show them where the signage is for important updates like how to make payment, how to submit maintenance requests, and other events going on. Walk them to the emergency exit so they are clear on where to go during an emergency. Next, take the tenant to the bathroom to show them where the water shutoff valves are located and how to turn them on and off. Also get your hands dirty and take the toilet lid off to show them the chain arm that operates the flushing mechanism, so if it falls off, it can easily be put back on. Then move on to the heater and air conditioner. There are many types of heaters, but to sum it up, make sure they know that if there's a pilot light and where it's located, have them test it out if they're comfortable with that to relight it. Then you can show them as well. well, how it works. If your property has laundry, go ahead and show them how that works as well. If it takes high efficiency detergent, show them the difference between that and regular detergent, because you don't want them to get that mixed up and ruin the machines. Show them how to empty the lint trap in the dryer, and if it's a gas unit, show where the shutoff valve is. Moving into the kitchen, start with the stovetop and oven settings. Again, if it's gas, show them where the shutoff valve is and how to light the pilot switch. For electric oven and stove, have them turn it on and off so they know where the functions are and the buttons. If there's a dishwasher, show them the controls and remind them that dish soap does not go into the dishwasher, only dish detergent. You don't want to receive a call that the kitchen has turned into foam fest and the tenant doesn't know what happened. Next, show them the dishwasher water exit and how it connects to the sink. If you have a garbage disposal hooked up, locate the on-off switch. If the garbage disposal gets stuck, locate the underside of the disposal and there'll be a spot for an Allen wrench to fix it just by going back and forth. Almost every property has hot water, so show the tenant where the water heater is located as well as the shutoff valve for gas. You can also let them know if it starts leaking water, they need to let management know ASAP because it's most likely broken. And one of the last but most important things for your tenant to know is where the main water shutoff is. Simply not knowing where or how to shut off the water off to the property can cause thousands in damage based on how long water has been running uncontrollably into the house. So show them where and how the water is shut off, and if needed, give them a water shutoff tool if the main shutoff is located at the street. If you want to master move-ins, you can grab the free checklist used by top performing landlords to save thousands of dollars a year with the link below.